Okay, so I've gotten the majority of my hair curled and am just working on this little top here. And this I straight just did with these curlings. So as I said, we were just talking and curling, whatever. And I'm taking like small pieces like this because you want this thing to be right. So as I was saying, when I first began, I was answering my little stepdaughter's questions and this, that, and the other, and we had a nice little conversation. And I mean, it's good to look out for our children, as I was saying. It's good to talk to them. It's good to, know what's going on within their minds, how they thinking about certain things. And also as adults. And, my believers, my Christians. Let me turn this down. I just got finished watching this movie. Had a real funky, little freaky twist to it. This girl, I'm thinking that, she's the one that's sane, but in the end, she turns out to be the one that's crazy. She's trying to kill her stepmom, saying that the fire wasn't an accident, that she killed him to try to be with her mother, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, what the world? And come to find out, she killed her mother and her sister, and was seeing her sister's ghost. Thought that her sister killed the stepmom, and she killed the stepmom. Craziness. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, like I was said, basically talking to my believers in Christ or whatever. My ladies, my gents, what are you really thinking about as far as boundaries? Now, we teach the kids, or we're supposed to teach the children, about boundaries, about just having safe boundaries so that you don't get entangled and caught up into things that you shouldn't. But yet and still, we carry this thing like, I'm grown. And you gotta put the all up on it too, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. But as believers, as Christians, I'm not really feeling that it should be that way. You feel me? And if you don't, just hear me why. Hear my reason why. I've had enough times where I fell into some stuff that I shouldn't have. To be the queen of boundaries, and to talk about it. So like I said, I was discussing this with my stepdaughter, but there's nothing that I'm going to discuss with my children that I'm not practicing myself. And I was telling her, even as adults, even as grown people, we still have to have those type of boundaries. I remember a time when I was dating, telling the young man, and he was like, what? Telling him that at a certain time, I needed to get off the phone. Because around this bewitching hour, conversations get a little, and it's about just covering yourselves, covering yourselves. God told me that there was no dating for me, but when I was slowly trying to come from doing this, because that's how God dealt with me, not saying that he would deal with every person like that, I had to set a time where I'll be home. Of course, you're past the 18-year-old mark, you're past the 21-year-old mark, you may be in your 30s or even your 40s. You grown. but God is still our daddy, and there are certain standards and stuff that he set for us. And what I have on is just a regular little shirt. I'm looking at this like, what does she got on? It's a regular little shirt, but I have a dress over it. Just something I threw on while I was fixing my hair, because it's a little nippy in here. But you know, we're grown, we can do what we want to do. But then when we get trapped up and tricked up and start, you know, entertaining relationships that weren't ordained by God, and then we're hurt and we're crying, we're like, this is crazy. You know, had we better prepared and had those safe boundaries, or created some boundaries and said, okay, you know, I don't know if this is it, but I'm going to cut this conversation off at this time, or I'm going to cut this date off at that time, or during the date, this is not appropriate, that is not appropriate. You know, and what I mean by that is, you know, people go out, they hang out for a while, and then, you know, they start the touching and the kissing and the, you know, what's wrong with showing my affection to the guy that I'm talking to? What's wrong with that? The problem is that touching can lead into some other type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And as believers, we just need to create boundaries for ourselves. Now, you know, the world may look at things a little differently. People within the Christian world may look at it differently also, but those who know they have a problem and are going to be real about the fact that they have a problem, I pray that you get something out of that. If you know that time and after time, all you want is just to talk to somebody and just be cool and develop a cool relationship, but you keep, you know, somehow falling, maybe that's it. Maybe you haven't created those boundaries that you needed to create. And so you know what it takes for you. What it took for me may not be what it took for you, but you know what it takes for you. You know that, you know, the certain way he looks just make me be like, blue after a certain time. Then boom, I need to cut off our dates at this, that, and the time, because it's about covering yourself. It's about the fact that I still want to live holy. I don't want to be repentant on the altar after our dates or after going out. I just don't want to go there. I just don't want to be there. I don't be wanting to feel bad after an innocent night of just supposed to be, you know, innocent plain fun. Me being on the altar crying, or me saying I can't sing this Sunday. You feel me? So create some boundaries, people of God. Don't just tell our children. We have to practice what we preach. Okay? So yeah, that was awesome. We had a nice little talk, and it was cool. And yes, I'm finally finishing this head. Like this, I mean, for me, it's very tedious. They say, I guess they have this one called the wand or something, where this part isn't attached. It's just straight this part right here, and you just wrap it around the hair, and it probably would be easier. But this hairstyle to me is very tedious, because I had to take every last small strand. Seeing, you'll still find some in there that you probably missed, because I did not use a mirror for the back of my head. I just straight looked at, you know, this long mirror in front of me, and just kind of tried to feel around it or whatever. But yeah, you have to take small pieces. I mean, to me, in order to get the look, that I want, this look right here, where it's like this, I had to take small pieces. And when I comb this out, this will look like a water wave. And each day it'll look wavier and it'll hold, you know. So I mean, I love this look. Okay, but I'm gonna come back when I finish the rest.